it's your prophetic nugget with Prophetess Trish. I hope everyone is having an amazing day. And today I got something really, really juicy I want to talk to you about. You know, one of the things that I see that is very common with prophetic people is that one day or 1 month God has given them something and they're enthused and they're empowered and they're ready to go. And then when things may not be panning out the way they want it to, they say, oh, you know what, God told me to do something else. And oh, you know what, God changed his mind. Oh, you know what, God... But you know what? That's a problem, because when we look at the Word of God, God is very consistent. He doesn't give you something and then say, oops, you know what? Never mind. I changed my mind. Forget about that. He does not do that. That is not an attribute or a characteristic of God. That in itself is us walking in the flesh and not in the Spirit, and definitely not walking in the gift of the Spirit, the fruit of the Spirit, which is patience, which is long-suffering, which is self-control, you know, all of that stuff. A lot of times we say God says something, and then before we know it, God has changed his mind, and God doesn't do that. Now, there are some instances in the Bible where God has said, listen, you do this, I'll do that. But if you don't do it, then guess what's going to happen? Something else is going to come upon you. For example, you know, we look at someone like Moses. Moses, who was a servant of God. God gave him something to do. And when Moses did not do it, God took away his promise. So we see that God changes his mind in certain instances where something serious has taken place, like disobedience. So to all my prophetic people out there, if God gave you something, if God told you something, that's it. Don't make God look like he's a bipolar God. 1 minute he's here, the next minute he's here. That's not my God, okay? So you got to understand. You got to understand that when God gives you something prophetically, it's going to take you walking in faith, walking in patience, and continuing to endure no matter how long it takes, no matter how much frustration comes your way. If God said it, that's it. You just got to endure the process so that you can see the manifestation. So your nugget for today is, don't make God a bipolar God, because that's not his characteristic.